Hi, thank you everybody for joining us. Everybody is on mute right now because it would be chaos if you could all talk. So if you have a question, please put it in the Q&A or the chat. We'll try to get to all the questions either throughout the presentation where it makes sense to answer, or at the end we should have plenty of time for Q&A. My name's Ariel Leggett. I'm the Senior Account Manager here at Retail Control Systems, and I am delighted to be joined today by our amazing guest, Krista Bell. She is the Point of Sale Systems Administrator at Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley. This girl is a rock star, and she is here to tell you guys about Roundup and the success she's seen with the program and all the cool things that they're doing with that. So today's topic, as I just said, is RCS Roundup tool. So we're going to dive right in. Anybody that knows me knows I can get off track really easily. So I've made a little agenda to keep myself on track and to make sure we can honor everyone's time, get you the most important information, and get you back on your way. So again, this presentation will be recorded, and a copy will be sent to you after Ryan does his magic and cleans it up, and he'll send it right to your inbox, and it will also be available on our YouTube channel. Okay, so we're going to really basically just talk about the what's, who's, where's, when's, why's, and how's of Roundup. So first of all, what is Roundup? It's not that toxic chemical that's destroying our ecosystem. It's actually a really cool tool that you can use at the point of sale to round up your customers' transactions to the nearest dollar, $5 or $10, as a way to accept donations to partner with charitable organizations. Who's Roundup for? It's actually for everyone. This is not just for nonprofits funding their own programs. This is also for for-profit businesses, because you can donate money to a charitable organization that's meaningful to you and to your customers. Whatever your niche is, just think about what's important to you and what's important to your customers. What causes really drive them to to be generous? What are things that they're concerned about? What are their cares? This is a really great opportunity to align your values with your customers' values, and it helps to solidify their loyalty to your brand because you're partnering with them for a good cause. So some examples: if you sell footwear, consider partnering with a local organization that provides scholarships to running clubs and camps for disadvantaged youth. Your customers know how much running is going to keep them sane and keep them healthy, and they're likely not going to mind rounding up a few cents or a few dollars on their next pair of shoes to help the next generation to have that benefit too. If you sell cookware and kitchenware, maybe you're partnering with a local food bank or a place that teaches nutrition and cooking classes to underprivileged families, or through a hospital organization that's teaching people how to eat healthy and make meals at home. So there's a lot of things that you can do. You can get creative with it, and you can get your customers to participate. So why should you round up? I think we just talked about some of those benefits, but some other benefits are really tax deductions and programs and credits. So that can financially help your business, aside from the goodwill factor of it. And then this really shouldn't be your main motivation, but I think it's a good side effect, is the publicity and branding, because you can use what you're doing to, you can put it out there, you can talk about it, and that's going to create more of a human aspect to your brand. And I just want you guys to take note, before starting any programs or trying to take advantage of any tax benefits for these programs, please consult a tax professional. That's very important that you consult a professional so you know that what you're doing is going to have the desired effect. So just an example here of why rounding up and what you can do with it. One of our Goodwills in New England here decided to partner with another Goodwill in Arkansas after some significant tornado damage. So they ran their Roundup program for a week, and all of the donations they received during that week, they were able to pass on to that other organization to help. So we're going to jump into a product demonstration here because that's the best way to show you how it works, right? Okay, so we're in Counterpoint touchscreen. This should look familiar to all of you. Maybe my buttons look a little bit cuter because I'm in the process of glamifying my touchscreen. You know how I roll. So pretend I'm just scanning these items because who uses buttons anymore? We're all using barcodes, right? And if you're not, I have a solution for you. So just let me know. Okay, so we've got $27.50 here. This guy's buying some cool new digs. We're paying. Here's a pop-up note. Look at this. So this is going to pop up right to the cashier. So they can say, hey, thanks for shopping with us today. Would you like to round up your total to the nearest dollar to support local food banks? Your contribution can help provide meals to families in need. So they're thanking the shopper for being there and shopping with them, giving them their business, asking them for the roundup, telling them what it's for, and then reaffirming who they're benefiting. And I think that's the most important part, equipping people with the tools they need to make this a comfortable exchange, to inspire customers and empower them to participate in that generosity and that charitable giving. So once the cashier follows the prompt, they go ahead and hit close, and it's going to pop up with some options here. Okay, it's going to be yes, no. 5 means it's going to round up to the nearest $5, and 10 is going to round up to the nearest $10. It looks confusing because since it's $25.50 already, the nearest 5 and the nearest 10 are the same thing. But this is basically telling the cashier how much money is going to get added to the ticket. So if they say yes, it's just going to round up to the nearest whole dollar. If they click 5 or 10, it's going to round up to the nearest whole number. So we're going to just say 5. It's adding $2.50 to the ticket as a donation. And now we're just going to go ahead and complete this ticket by paying it as you normally would. So we're doing cash today. I'm paying the ticket balance. I'm saying, yep, the ticket's complete. We're all set here. Receipt's going to print. And there we go. It's that simple. And so it's really simple to implement as well. This is something that we put in your practice company, test everything out with you, walk you through how it works. And then, you know, you get to edit your pop-up note, change the script, train your employees, and then put it into live. So now, Krista, could you tell us about your experience with your Roundup program and anything you want to share? We're just so thankful to have you here sharing your experience.
Yeah, no problem. So we switched over to this Roundup almost 2 years ago. We had been doing Roundup for years previously as just kind of like a miscellaneous item within Counterpoint. One of the main reasons we switched over to this version is we were finding that our cashiers were not really relaying the message of what the Roundup was for. So now that they have a box that pops up and tells them exactly what to say, and that if a customer asks questions, there's something, you know, there's another little line, you know, just as an example, a couple months ago, we change this every month. It was, would you like to round up to help provide job opportunities? And then if the customer was like, well, you know, what do you mean? Our program for the month was Miami Valley Works, which is one of our like in-house programs. And it was the quick notes, just Miami Valley Works is our program that helps provide individuals living in poverty find economic self-sufficiency through employment. And since we've done that, we've seen an increase in Roundup. When we first started, we were at roughly 19% of our transactions customers were rounding up. And 2 years later, we're at about 30%,
Woohoo!
which is our goal as an agency for individuals and stores as a whole. And roughly about a $10,000 a month increase since implementing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, as far as implementation goes, was this pretty easy to implement, to work with RCS to get it going?
Oh, definitely. It's been 2 years, so I'm not 100% sure who I worked with at the time, but he set it up in a practice, showed me what to do, and then I added it to all of we have a handful of different touch screens. Maybe took me half an hour, 45 minutes to do it. It was easy peasy. And then each month I just go in and change the Roundup note.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's easy because that's just a Counterpoint item note, and you can change, to your point, you can change it. You can add formatting, bold, italic colors, big font, little font, all the stuff to make it whatever you need it to be. So we do have a question. Can we customize the different Roundup options? And so as far as dollar amounts go, Sam, I hope that's what you're asking, but yes, you can.
I have a question for at the end of the month, when you're adding all this up, you can just run a report and see the total that you're donating to that specific charity.
For us specifically, it goes into like a general fund. Finance tracks all of that, and then out of our more than 40 programs, they kind of divide that up between each program. We track in our Excel sheets or our financial sheets, and then they take care of the rest.
Okay.
Awesome. And so well, Rebecca had a great question. Can we see how reporting works? Yes, I can show you that. Let me minimize all this stuff. And so we have, I'll just move this over so everyone can see. When we implement Roundup for you, we add the reports in for you. So it's just called Roundup Report. It's right here because I've been playing around with this a lot. But if you aren't using it except once a month and it's not in your recently used or your favorites, you can just use this handy dandy search tool, which I love, and bring up the Roundup report that way. Okay, and so you can pick based on business date. You can pick at the user level. So if you want to evaluate different users against each other, or stores against stores, and of course, anybody that's a Counterpoint whiz in here, you already know that you can go in here and you can start to change your report metrics and what you want to see. And I'm clicking in a lot of things and having a lot of pop-ups that are going on other tabs. So I'm going to simplify this and just keep it normal here. But if you pick nothing, basically I'll show you what comes out. It's going to give you all users and all stores. And you'll see that I have put in a lot of transactions here, almost 7,000, and a very small percentage of those were testing Roundup. So, but you can see that it's looking at all the stores and providing you with ticket count, donation count, the percentage of total, and then dollar amounts and average donation per ticket, and your subtotals by store and by user. So Krista, I actually am wondering, do you do anything, any programs to incentivize your employees and or stores so that basically they're like competing against each other to see who can get the most Roundup?
Yeah, so we do. So we have 5 different districts. Each month we have 2 winners per district, one for the highest dollar amount and one for the highest percentage per 500 tickets. So they have to have a minimum of $500 tickets for the month. And they can win gift cards. And even some of the districts within themselves have their own little thing going on, or stores. And then each quarter, out of the 5 districts, 1 store from each will win, they get a petty cash, like to have a pizza party or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And they get excited for those things.
Yeah, who doesn't want a pizza party?
Yeah.
Anytime, it's like silly because I don't even usually buy pizza on my own, but if somebody offers me a pizza party, I'm like, I want that pizza party.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, great. So let's see. So Nick, great question. If the customer refuses the Roundup, does a $0 Roundup item stay on their ticket or receipt? No, it doesn't. And I can walk you through how that looks. So basically, if somebody doesn't want to round up, we're saying these people are like, I'm sorry, I need to buy some formula. I am not going to round up my ticket. Not today. So you say no. And then there's a process that actually removes that item from the ticket so it doesn't show anything. And then they can go ahead and pay the ticket. Okay. And I think I can show a preview here so you can see that it's not on there. Yeah, see no Roundup on there. Okay. Answer. Is there a character limit for the prompts and counterpoint? Tim coming through with the hard question. Which prompts specifically do you mean, for the item note or the pop-up note? Because I think if so, that is another question that we have here. So I'd love to answer that. How long of a message can you provide on the screen? And I don't think there's any limit to that actually. So the way that you edit the pop-up note and essentially create your script is you go into your Roundup item. It's a Roundup remind. That's the item. Up here is your notes icon. That's for your item notes. And then you want to scroll through. Danielle, I'll show you big. You scroll through till you get to the auto note. And then, so this is the note that I had in there, and you can put, like Krista, to your point, you put your script and then you had like a side note if they needed more info. So they were probably just scrolling down a little bit to get that info. But
from what I've noticed, like we have quite a bit, like we have this big thing in red that says attention and a pretty big font being like, hey, read this.
yeah.
The window, at least in my experience, the window adjusts to how much you're putting there. So you don't have to scroll down at all. Like it's always going to be there, at least for us.
Nice. Awesome. So you can put quite a bit of text in there. Just be mindful of how big your touchscreen size is and how much do you want the cashiers to have to read or say to the customer at the end of their transaction. There doesn't appear to be any actual character limit in here. Great questions. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Krista, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to tell us about your programs and how this has been successful for you.
Oh, no problem.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.